Yo! Yo, yo, yo! Arrow! How's your week been? I know it's only been a couple of days since we've last spoke. How have you been? Right, I'm going to get straight into it because I don't like to spend too long on Wednesdays. It just gives me an excuse to go live and talk about some of the manga that I've been picking up. Not picking up, been reading. Hopefully I won't be live too long. You've been okay? That's good to hear. Okay is better than not okay. And sometimes it's okay not to be okay. Alright, I've sorted out my camera. So let me move this. Alright, so last couple of weeks, I've not really read all that much, unfortunately. So, what that means is that I don't have a lot to talk about. So it is going to be a short stream. In the last 2 weeks, I've not really read all that much. But what I have been reading is a bunch of shoujo. I started off with A Sign of Affection, volumes 4, 5, 6, and 7. First thing I want to say is that the covers for these are amazing. I'm glad that they've stuck with this pastel design. I know some shoujo that I've seen on the shelf, like Shortcake Cake, not Shortcake Cake. What's it called? Cheeky Brat. They kind of change it up. They've kind of been consistent at Sign of Affection. It's beautiful. You've read Dunmei books instead of Attack on Titan? Is it just because you want something different? Or is it because you're getting bored of Attack on Titan? Or you like buddy reading with people? Less than. How's it going? Yeah, Sumo Ishita is really good at drawing. I recently read her 2 other works, Shortcake Cake and what was the other one that I read? Shortcake Cake and Like a Butterfly, which has been coming out recently. And her art has improved, but it's always been great and it just gets better and better. The first 2 series were like high school girls, so it kind of, I don't know, they look kind of chibified, if that makes sense. These guys are all adults. When I say adults, they're like 18 plus. I think the main dude, Itsuomi, he's 19, and Yuki is 18, I think. And yeah, just the design in their faces is a lot more expressive. So our art has gotten better. I think this is the 3rd. Well, I don't know if it's the 3rd. She could have done more, but it's the 3rd publication that we have in English. One other thing I will say about the art is that her clothing choices for some of her characters is amazing. Most of the time, like day by day, characters just have new clothes. I know shonen is very obvious with characters just wearing the same clothes over and over again. It's not like that here. They're all in college, so they don't have the standard school uniform. And she goes through so much effort. I don't know if she does it or if she has an assistant that does the whole thing. But their clothes are absolutely beautiful. And it's not just on the covers, it's on the in the actual books themselves. Like I said, day by day, they just change just from like casual jackets to like wearing jumpers and stuff. She's really good at like doing skirts. There's this little scene where they're like holding each other. Well, he's holding Yuki. It's beautiful. Just the way that the clothes sit on all the characters, it feels very real and it flows really well, especially in the emotional moments when they're thinking about one another or just generally like taking in the atmosphere. And it's something that I don't really pay attention that much to, the clothing. But in this, I do. It's pretty awesome. You've been recovering from London. What did you guys go down for? A gig? Or am I just making that up? I feel like you went down for something. What were you going down for? The covers look pretty. The covers look pretty. They look amazing. And they all have color pages as well. This is one where like a couple of them wearing like jumpsuits. I don't know if they're called jumpsuits, like an all-in-one thing. It looks really, really nice. Let me see if I can get another one. I think this is my favorite cover so far. She's really good with the male eyes as well. They have like these piercing eyes that are just full of passion. Itsuomi goes from like come hither eyes to like really dorky eyes at times where he's just being mischievous and funny. This is my favorite cover. They look like chefs. They look great. Drink! Time to read. It's always time to read. Or time to duel. One of the two. Either way, you're going to win. You're going to wait for the Omnis. If you don't have them, I guess you could. I don't know if it's been confirmed how they're going to come out. If it's going to be like a hardback or a softback. I'm not too sure. Either way, I would like to see them before I consider buying it. Because this is... I've not read that many shoujo series. This has easily become my favorite. Maybe because it was one of the first that I had read like a couple of years ago. And yeah, it's quickly becoming like my go-to when a new volume comes out. I kind of want to read it straight away. That and In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. But it's mainly the attention to detail in terms of like, because Yuki's deaf, right? And I've mentioned before how in the speech bubbles, if Yuki, who is deaf, is listening into a conversation, in the speech bubbles, the text is grey, indicating to the reader that Yuki can hear what is being said. At the moment she looks away, or if there's a character standing behind her and they start talking, it's black font, black text, and like, yeah, black. And that shows that she can't hear that. And sometimes, rather than saying all the time, oh, I didn't catch what they say, she kind of just like, almost like question marks or like astonishing faces, like, oh my god, what happened? What are they talking about? Because she didn't hear. And it's subtle things like that that kind of like, I don't know, make the reading experience that more engaging for the reader. And if you look into that kind of, if you notice those kind of things, you really appreciate like the thought that put into it. Kind of like reading One Piece, and then you know how like he's put subtle things in a chapter, and then like months or years down the line, it becomes to fruition that it was actually really, really important. Kind of like that, except from it's always happening in this. You posted your London manga haul in the Discord. I'll have to check it out. I've been really inactive in the last couple of weeks in the Discord. Other than the being in the Magical Keep, I pop in there time to time, but then I don't check all the other channels. But I'll have a look. And when you say shopping, was it just manga shopping or like other shopping? London's expensive, man. How long did you guys go for? I hope it was a nice time. And if you're in London, like central London, if you're going through like the undergrounds, you're going to be super, super hot. Pretty much just manga shopping. So what, you went Forbidden Planet? There aren't many other like worthwhile shops, I would say. There's good ones to go to, like Gosh Comics and Foils or Foilers or whatever it's called. They don't really do like cheap manga, but it's nice to go there. So I had ramen for the first time. Where did you go? Did you go Shoryu? Shoryu is really good. I don't know many like authentic Japanese places to go to. Oh, you did go to Gosh? Gosh is great. It has a good selection. It has a lot of like not necessarily out of print, but like out of stock stuff. They always just sell it at retail price though. And anything that's yen press or denpa or anything like that that doesn't have a UK or European price tag, they just price it whatever they want. which is a little bit annoying. I've found if I'm looking for a series, a volume, and I'm in London, I'll normally check Gosh, because like 8 times out of 10, they'll have it. Only place that has Spy Family 11, see? Sometimes when everything gets sold out, no one will go outside of the 3 for 2 option. So if you're willing to spend retail, maybe a little bit more, I don't think they hike up their prices. You can get it at Gosh, most likely. Yeah, I think A Sign of Affection is quickly becoming one of my favorite shoujos. It's funny because when I think of shoujo, I always think of just high school girls. Whilst this isn't high school girls, I guess shoujo is less about the atmosphere, not the atmosphere, but like the setting, and more about the atmosphere and the characters. I've noticed recently, I've read 5 shoujo series this month so far, and all of them are very in depth in character development and their emotions from the get-go. It's less like in shonen, a lot of the time it's about friendships and what that friendship means. In this, it's more meaningful relationships and how the characters feel when they receive certain like forms of affirmation, like, you know, just spending quality time with someone or just giving someone a gift. You get a big dialogue of how that makes that one character feel. And in A Sign of Affection, you get that a lot because obviously Yuki's deaf. She can't always convey what she's trying to say to everybody, and a lot of the time it's all in her thoughts. You need to read it? You should. At least the first volume. It's really good. It's really well paced. The character designs are beautiful, like their clothes, they're amazing. None of the characters are like overly horrible. There's not it's not really a character that I think, they're so frustratingly annoying. There are a couple of characters where you think, I wish they didn't act this specific way in this scenario or this situation. But then, you know, they disappear. They're normally like a secondary or tertiary character. Not really all that important. But it's great. And I'm looking forward to volume 8 whenever it comes out. If it comes out. I don't know when. And I just hope Kodansha don't mess up the alignment for these, because actually I've just noticed, although I think they are, no, not really. So these are all level in terms of like height. No, they're not actually. Kodansha, man, can't really see it. It's hard, but they're not really. You can see like volume 7 is a little bit taller, and so is volume 4. But what's worse is that if I put them spine up, volume 6 is much higher than the others, which is frustrating. Look at that. Can't really. What? It goes big to small. There's no quality control when it comes to Kodansha. Soon? I hope it's soon. I hope it's soon. Yes, I read 4 volumes of that, which was great. And then the last volume that I read was a big one. It is an omnibus and it is Paradise Kiss by Ai Yazawa. Now, it didn't dawn on me until literally the very end. The school, this is about like fashion. It was a fashion setting. And there's a fashion school called Yazawa Arts. And I didn't realize that was the name of the mangaka, which is quite funny. This is a follow-up series to Neighborhood Story. It's a Neighborhood Story? I'm reading that right now. Neighborhood Story, which is this one. We just got that. And I didn't realize it's actually not necessarily a continuation, but it's set in the same world. Because Yazawa Arts is also in Neighborhood Stories. And after Neighborhood Story finishes, then we go to a brand new character who doesn't actually go to the art school. She kind of fumbles her way around life. She doesn't really know what she's doing, and she finds this group of people who are into fashion. They got this like little side hobby of creating dresses, and she gets invested in those. She finds out that they go to this fashion school. She learns about the fashion school. Then she's like dropping out of school to spend more time with them so she can do like catwalks and that kind of thing. And she really questions what the meaning of her existence is. Why is she living life? Is she happy just studying and then going to college and then, just following the social norms? Or does she actually want to do something with her life that will actually benefit her and make her happy? And that's ultimately what the series is about. And then the rest of it is her dealing with real life problems. Like boyfriends. Better than Nana? I cannot confirm because I haven't read Nana. And I know Zoe has recently read Nana. And she hasn't read Paradise Kiss. So I'm sure she can't. This is the omnibus. This is actually a 5-in-1. It is duffus. It is huge. Now, I would say that I read the whole thing. I didn't. I only read the last, I think, 15 chapters. Because I had already read the majority of it. I think I read the first 30 and then I went back to like chapter 25. And then I read around 20 chapters. Because the beginning of the story was fresh in my mind. Just not the last couple. But it was really good. What I will say, although I've not read Nana, I have spoken with Zoe. And she said that in Nana, there is a lot of drama in terms of like relationships. There's characters that you don't like, they act a certain way. And it's very realistic in terms of how some people would treat people in real life, And Paradise Kiss does a similar thing. She dates this one boy and he is horrible. He is the worst human being ever. He mistreats her. He's not very open with his feelings. And he's very shut off. And he uses and abuses her mentally and physically. And it's not really a spoiler because it's kind of apparent what kind of character he is from the get-go. Tens, dude! I caught your live stream the other day. What camera do you use? Super high quality. And also Hunter x Hunter in a day when. You want to read Neighborhood Story? Yeah, I would. I mean, Neighborhood Story came out first in Japan, obviously. And then Paradise Kiss afterwards. So I guess you could read it that way, but then you probably wouldn't be able to read Paradise Kiss until like maybe a couple of years when we get the whole of Neighborhood Story. Also, Neighborhood Story follows one character and they graduate from the school, I presume, at some point, and they are present in Paradise Kiss, but they're like, it's years later. So they're not really like that integral to the story. But the setting is kind of the same. It's probably like, I don't know, 10 years, 11 years maybe in the future. Yeah, Paradise Kiss was a roller coaster. It did kind of remind me, not of my personal life, but the way that the main character thought how she didn't know what she was doing with her life and how to progress and how to make herself happy is very relatable. I think we can all attest to that. As you get older into your like late teens, early 20s, you kind of question what is it in life that I actually want? What do I want to do? Do I want to work? Do I not want to work? Do I want to find a nice partner who will treat me right? Do I want to find a partner who will like go out and go on adventures with me and explore the world, etc.? Do I want someone that will settle down with me like from an early age and maybe have kids and have marriage, that kind of thing? There's a lot of like meaning in some of these shoujos. It's not just about hit dude hard, knock him down, hit next dude really hard. But in ways it's kind of slice of lifey as well. Because some chapters, they're literally just designing a dress and then they go to the fitting, they do a catwalk and they talk about how to make the dress better. There's a couple of like, the characters get so invested in each other, there's a bit of banter that goes on. And then, it gets a little bit more hectic when they're not doing the actual dress and they're not at school. It's when they're at their home or outside of their atelier where they design all the dresses and etc. That's where the drama happens, because that's when they start talking about their feelings and who loves who and who wants to spend time with who. There's a lot of drama in it. One thing I will say with Ayazawa, her work is very wordy. So if you're looking to get into her work, prepare to read at least one volume a night. and not like multiple volumes. Unless you're happy to read like the whole day, you know? Yeah, I checked out the live stream, dude. It's I mean, I live in the UK, so I'm like 5-6 hours ahead of you. But I think when you streamed, I was at work still. I'm sure. And then I dipped out, and then I watched the rest of it the next day. I mean, Paradise Kiss is interesting if you're into shoujo and you're into just reading a bunch of people talk about their passion and potentially getting hooked up and finding meaningful relationships in terms of like boyfriend, girlfriend, or friendships. Sazzle, please. I only know English. I just about know English. What are you saying? You tried out live streaming because of me? Lies. Because you did a vertical stream a little while ago, right? How'd you do that? Was that just on your phone? Your stream is fun, dude. As you saw, you get to talk with your community, which is pretty cool. I mainly do it just to get suggestions of people so they can tell me what manga's good. And then I can talk to people about that manga. I was on your iPad. A complete accident. You accidentally pressed the go live button. Kigs! I can't tell what that smiley face is doing. Is he swearing at me? Is he doing the Korean... Is he doing the Korean heart thing? I can't tell. What is it doing? It doesn't tell me if I hover over it what type of thing it is. Where do you find emotes? It's thumbs up. I believe you. I believe you. Petro. Yeah, I'm feeling Paradise Kiss. It was really good. I wouldn't recommend it. Just like to say, just read it. If you want to get into shoujo, just read it. It's definitely more for an adult audience. I will say it's not really a spoiler. There's a scene where the two characters are having sex. You don't actually see anything, but they just break into generic conversation halfway, which is pretty funny. One other thing that's pretty funny about this series is that they break the fourth wall quite a lot. There's one dude, one old man shows up, and the main character's like, "Oh, who are you?" He says, "Oh, I'm such and such, blah blah blah." And then he looks at the panel and he says to you, "If you want to find out more about me, you should read my manga." And it's by Ayazawa as well, which is pretty funny. What? But yeah, it's I would say it would be on the list to read. But then again, I really want to read Nana. I haven't read any of it. I'll probably read like maybe not the whole thing. I'll be able to read like maybe 5 volumes if I'm lucky. But I want to read more Neighborhood Story. We've got the first 2 volumes, which I think they're omnibuses. I think these are omnibuses. Because what I'm doing at the moment with the shoujo reads, I'm actually just reading a bunch of creators at the moment. So I've done Sumo Ashita, Like a Butterfly, Sign of Affection, and Shortcake Cake. So I've read those, and now I'm reading Aizawa. I want to read Aoi Sakasaka, some of their works, and just see like how they've become the mangaka that they are today, you know? But I'm looking forward to reading more shoujo. Adding it to my collection. Read some Clamp. I don't think... Zoe, do we have any Clamp? Do we have any Clamp? I don't know if we do. Do we have Clamp? I don't think we got any Clamp. Chobits. Zazzle, does that check out? We good for Chobits? See Pum Pum in the background? Have you read it, 10? I feel like it's great. Absolute masterpiece. It had me in tears a couple of times. It had me cringing so much. Not that it hits too hard to home. It just feels so realistic. Like the life that he leads is so realistic. I've seen and heard of people in those exact situations. And it's quite scary that someone's been able to put it in manga format. And you look at Pun and you think you are just making the wrong decisions every single time. And when you think he's making the right one, something goes wrong. Nothing goes right for him at all. And I would love to recommend it to everybody, but it's definitely not easy to swallow. I think if you're like, I feel like you need to have experienced quite a lot of life to appreciate Pun. That being said, 10 out of 10 would read again. I don't think an 18-year-old could probably appreciate the meaning behind the series and also really understand a lot of the decisions that he made because they haven't experienced a similar situation. Not that anyone's experienced half the stuff that he has. But it is a crazy read. Absolutely mental. Chobits is decent. I think that's the only one that we have then. Yumi Tamura is your favorite shoujosei mangaka? Let me have a look. What do they do? Tamura. What do they do? Right. Just before I update the spreadsheet, let me look up what are their names again? Yumi Tamura. Oh, they did Don't Call It Mystery. And 7 Seed. We have 7 Seed printed, right? Is that right? Wait, it says Don't Call It Mystery 1, and they also do Don't Call It Mystery 2021. What does that mean? Does it continue? I thought it was ongoing. Don't Call It Mystery. Where's the... It says it's ongoing. Anyways. Yeah, I loved Don't Call It Mystery. I only read the first omnibus, which is the first 2 volumes, and it was great. What I will say about that one, though, you do not want to read parts. You don't want to read like 10, 20 pages. You need to read the whole book. It is one continuous story for like the most part, the first volume. So you need to sit down for a good like 2 hours and read the whole thing. It is great. They did Basara as well. Oh, that's perfect. That's just on the new Viz Media app, right? We can read it finally in the UK. Woo! Hypers! Man, Basara was 90 to 98? That's crazy. I hope it gets its English release. As it never... Oh, that was the original. I say the original. That was her first manga series. When was that? 2001. Hang on a sec. Oh, it's in alphabetical order. That's why. Never mind. My bad. 7 Seeds. We never got an English print? No? Not at all. Who is it? Is it Kodansha? Who owns it? Nobody. Who... What else has Shakugakukan done? What do they own? Maybe we'll get 7 Seed. Who knows? You off, Sparrow? Take it easy. I'm literally just updating my spreadsheet now, and then I'm good to go. Right, so I read 4 volumes of A Sign of Affection 2 weeks ago, and then last week I did spend the majority of the week just reading Paradise Kiss, which I'll bet is 5 volumes in one, but I'm only logging it down as one. Don't forget to come in next week, Sparrow. On Monday, we're doing the manga buying stream, and I promise you, it will go ahead. It will be live, and I won't upset you, and it will be fine, and we can spend loads of money. We'll do recommendations, and it'll be a great time. Sign of Affection. I read 4 to 7, and then I read Parakiss 1. Perfect. I still need to go back. There was a couple of missing weeks where I didn't log anything, so I need to figure that out. And I'm actually doing terrible in terms of how much I've read. I can add these up to 15 so far, I think. 1, 2, 3. No, this isn't right. Let's get rid of these. No, I've only read 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've only read 5 volumes this month. That sucks. I don't think I'm ever going to hit 50%. There's a C in affection. What did I... Oh. My bad. He knows autocorrect. Leave me alone. I need to type fast. And sometimes I don't look when I'm typing. What was that? That was 113 volumes this year. And all that does, that just wipes out the big manga collection that Zoe and I did in Leeds last month. So really, I'm no better off. I was at 28% and I'm still at 28%. That's not good. I need to step it up. I thought reading shoujo would be quick. But Aizawa, very, very wordy. And Shortcut Cake wasn't particularly short or quick to read. It took me some time. You shouldn't spell check me. It's fine. Someone will. If not you, then probably Zoe. So someone has to. But that is it. Never a long time on a Wednesday. Next week, Monday, we'll be doing the big manga buying stream on Sci-Fi. Zoe has a bunch of stuff that she would like to pick up. And we're also going to take some recommendations. Well, we'll take the recommendations, we'll stick it in a wheel, and then maybe, if you're lucky, we'll pick up your series as well. But it'll be fun. It's been a long time since we've done a live manga buying stream. Last one, we picked up a whole box set. And we spent £250, I think, or £200. This time, we're going to be spending a fair bit more. I won't tell you how much, but it's a fair bit more. Awisaka is quick. Yeah, that's the next mangaka that I'm probably going to be reading after Aizawa. I need to finish Neighborhood Story, read some Nana, and then I'll be on Awisaka. And then whatever else is here and stuff. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And I'll see you all next week, Monday. Well, the collection's, it's a joint collection, It's for both of us. Both of us, right? Is that how it works? Both. Both. Why not both? Just both. Goodbye, Kigs. Goodbye, drink. It's okay, drink. It's just about having fun and enjoying the presence of everyone here and in the Discord and anywhere else that you converse with manga enthusiasts. About reading. about consuming the enjoyment.